Sup nerds, I'm Tom, and I'm here to talk to you all about the expansion for Tiny Epic Pirates called The Curse of Amdiak. Now when I first read the name for this expansion, for some reason like my brain flipped the D and the I, so it was Curse of Amdiak, which sounds kind of like I'm a duck, which I think we can all agree is a much better name for this expansion. So the Ducky McPirate Face expansion adds a lot of like ghosty things, right? Like a big green glowing ghost ship, and ghost skeleton crews and all that kind of green, ghosty, piratey ship things. So I think it's pretty obvious what this is in reference to. That one scene in Mr. Mom. So the stuff added in this expansion is all like a bunch of little things that are all kind of aimed towards the same goal. Probably the most important thing is the ghost gold, or it's actually called curse gold, that you can get that is necessary for winning the game. Actually, you have an additional thing you have to bury. You have to bury the 3 treasures still, and now you have to bury your Amdiak urn. You need cursed gold to do that. So in order to get cursed gold, everybody starts with some, and there's kind of like a limited economy of it at first. You can get it from these tokens that the ghost ship will drop down, and if you ever get cursed, which is something I'll talk about in a second, you can get skeleton crew that can help you get them. So at the very beginning, it's actually kind of a difficult thing to do. So it's probably not going to be the very first thing you do. You're probably not going to run out there and bury your urn like immediately. Now the ghost ship is another one of those NPC ships that moves when you cross the shipping line. It moves last, and when it moves into your space, you lose all of the cursed gold that you have. And I think you get jumbled or whatever that word is, but you also get cursed. So you'll flip your captain into the cursed version of your captain, which just means that you're pretty much the same, but your actions are a little bit different. So like now you can purchase a skeleton crew, which you couldn't do before. You can actually steal ghost gold or cursed gold from another player. So it makes things a little bit better for you. So you almost kind of want to get cursed a little bit, but you're going to lose all of your cursed gold. And at the very beginning of the game, you start with cursed gold, so you want cursed gold a lot. But you don't want to lose it for no reason. I mean, I guess maybe you could bury your urn quickly and then get cursed. But once you get cursed, it's easier for you to get cursed gold. But then you don't really need cursed gold as much. I don't know. But either way, you can also get cursed gold from the ghost ship itself. Whenever you lose cursed gold, it goes onto the gold ship, the cursed ship. And then you can later get it back from them. So I think that's the whole point of it, is that cursed gold is hard to get and hard to keep. It's really elusive or whatever. Like, that's thematic, and that's cool. But you mostly just need it for burying the urn. And I mean, also, it's gold, too. So if you want to spend it like regular gold, you can. But those are the main things, really. It's like the ship, the cursed gold, the fact that you need to bury the urn, and the skeleton crew. So there's all like a couple of little things like that to think about that are all aimed towards the same thing, which is mainly getting cursed gold and burying the urn. A quick aside is that there's also a line in the rulebook about, like a thematic line, about how once all of the Amdiak urns are buried, he'll be at rest or whatever, the ghost can finally rest. So I would interpret that to mean that once everybody buries their urn, the ship stops moving and stuff. But that's never explicitly stated in the rules, so maybe it's much more likely that that's just like a thematic line in the rule book, and nothing goes away once everybody buries all their urns or whatever. So I just thought that was a really vague, kind of weird line to be put in there that just, maybe I'm reading into it way too much, but it is a little confusing. At the end of the day, I think this expansion is like fine. Like, it's good, I enjoyed it, but I didn't really feel it necessary. Now, I really enjoyed the base game already, so that's kind of part of it that, I already really liked the game, that there was going to need to be a lot in this expansion to really pump the game experience up even more. And because it's like just a couple little things that are, I don't want to say they're fiddly, but like, I mean, maybe they are a little bit fiddly. Like that elusiveness of the ghost gold is a little annoying, especially given the fact that it's a necessity. You have to bury that urn, so you have to focus on gold, on the ghost gold at one point, or curse gold. I'm never going to say it right. You have to start focusing on it at some point. And it can be almost a little bit too easy. Like, I mean, the ship only moves 2, so yeah, you can try and get away from it. But at least for us, our ship kept staying like in the middle of the map for some reason. And actually, we kept making mistakes. We kept putting these ghost wake tokens. Whenever the ship moves, it leaves more of those search tokens, but like the specific ghost search tokens or whatever. And it's really only supposed to be 1 per map card, but it didn't really affect our game all that much because we kept dropping multiple on the same one. Like it stayed in the center. You know, we weren't running out and not dropping them. Anyways, this expansion almost kind of forces you to split your attention from gaining regular gold and burying your treasure versus gaining ghost gold to bury your urn. Again, it wasn't like I disliked it. It wasn't such a fiddly thing and such an out there thing that like I found it annoying. Like actually, I don't think I mentioned this in my video for the base game. There was a mini expansion in the base game that were these little tower floating things that you put in like the corners of the map, and they made the actions there a little bit better. And whenever you did them, that thing moved. That was almost a little bit too fiddly because we kept forgetting about it. Like someone would take an action at that spot and then later realize, oh wait, shouldn't I have gotten the better version of that action? Also, shouldn't this thing have moved? And I guess this expansion is a little bit better because it is required. You're focusing on it a little bit more and everybody's thinking about it, and that the extra rules fit in a little bit better. All of this is to say that I definitely didn't play with this expansion and the mini expansion at the same time, because I felt that would have been too fiddly. And I think in saying that, I am kind of admitting that there is just a little bit of fiddliness with this expansion. At the end of the day, I like the expansion. I will include it in games again. I don't think it's an essential expansion. I still think the base game is good enough that you don't really need it. But if you are a big fan of the game, you might want to get it just to have something new. Like, it's a good game. I would play this game a lot. But I understand the idea of playing a game multiple times. You kind of want to add some freshness and some new things to it. And this does do that, you know? Again, it wasn't a bad experience. I didn't dislike the expansion. We focused on it when we had to, and then when we didn't, we didn't. I definitely wouldn't include this in somebody's first play of the game, however. That's probably the biggest deal. One last thing, in my video for the base game, we kept talking about how it was hard to get the cubes onto your little pirate ships. Here, we just took off those little masts, the little flags, whatever, the sails. It doesn't look as nice, but it was much more functional. All right, well, that's pretty much all I can say about this expansion. I'm going to put a purchase link to the base game and this expansion in the description box down below. While you're down there, don't forget to check out our link for Game Toppers. That's what pretty much all these pictures you're seeing have been taken on. And most importantly, subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored.